The time is 1963. Doctor Who slams onto our televisions and is a massive hit, mainly because TVs were locked to Coronation Street, which, by the way, 10,000 episodes. Do you need any more episodes? Jesus. And the news. The time is the 29th of November 2015, and I just finished watching Heaven Sent, what may be the greatest Doctor Who episode ever, and some 55 minutes of must-see TV cementing Capaldi as one of my favourite Doctors. The time is the 2nd of January 2010, and I'm quite sad as David Tennant does not want to go. The time is 2005. Doctor Who just got rebooted. Will it be good? Who knows? The time is 24th of August 2014. The Doctor just regenerated into a grumpy old man, and I'm skeptical if I will like the show anymore. The time is 24th November 2013. I excitedly wake up at 4:30 in the morning to watch the 50th anniversary episode of Doctor Who. The time is 10th of December 2018, and Doctor Who has just met its weakest season yet, Season 11. A lot was riding on Season 11, as a new showrunner joined the show, and it seemed to need to change, and change it did. The show became incomprehensible. It had far too many characters that are all the perfect shining example of goodness in their heart, hardly challenged by anything. Jodie was given little to no room or writing to be anything unique. Her whole stick comes off as a poor imitation of Matt Smith's energy, and without Pons or Clara to back him up with drama. The most any character could do in any episode was learn some new knowledge, not be challenged or have to come to terms with significant character change. This frog was so fucking stupid. It's unbelievable. Someone wasn't doing their job properly when they approved the frog for the go. The episode's concepts weren't particularly clever or interesting. All in all, the season was boring, and 3 companions, which are all basically the same person, is way too many. The time is February 21st, and what I'm trying to say is that Doctor Who is like a big ball of good and bad and different, all tangled together. It's one of the only shows to survive through my childhood, and it certainly has changed throughout the seasons, but also, more importantly, so have I. I'm far more critical of media, and I guess that's why I'm here. Looking back on Moffat's seasons, I find that the episodes and plot lines don't really hold up to what I would consider good. However, there were enough great moments and the occasional phenomenal episode to keep me hooked. Every Doctor managed to eventually find its groove. I find Capaldi the strongest of the Moffat era. This new era of Doctor Who is yet to make it into a groove, mainly because of Yaz, Ryan and Graham, and well, the horrific writing. So let's see if Season 12 isn't as cringeworthy as Season 11. It won't be hard. And well, spoiler alert, it's not. And it could have been far worse, and I know this because I've seen the future. I'm from the future. No, I'm in the future. So travel back with me to about 10 weeks ago. Spyfall Part 1 and Part 2. Ugh. This is gonna be so painful. I don't think I can make it through the whole season. These 2 episodes perfectly encapsulate what I dislike about the previous season, which is just a lot. In fact, I have so little to say about these episodes, but they're a good representation of everything I dislike about the previous season. Laser, tap dance, and Graham. God. What has it come to? It's all of the writing is implied coolness. The Master Reveal was kind of interesting. It was so goofy, just that whole plane crashing sequence. And that guy can act. I was digging his charisma, but just everything else. I said these 2 episodes so boring. Graham, laser, tap dancing. I'm lost for words on how to describe too many. There were no good payoffs because there were no good setups. Everything was just terrible. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna give this episode a 2 laser Graham dances out of 10. Kill me. Episode 3. Nowhere near as terrible as the first two. In fact, this is pretty close to digestible TV. I never would have guessed. A plot that's not horrendous. There's still too many companions and too many characters overall. And the bigger issue with the new seasons of Doctor Who remains in that you have all of these characters. So not only do you have these companions, then you have probably 3 characters to join the fray from just that single adventure, and yet the 40 minutes can still feel boring. That's a problem. Name of the episode's Orphan 55. Orphan, a good describing word for what I think of Doctor Who. A child that I much loved and invested much time into that I unfortunately had to give away. Jesus Christ, a cat lady showed up and my brain went into overload mode as it was trying to comprehend cats being in the same universe as Doctor Who. And I was like, 2 things that are pretty close in the same ranking in my head, and my brain was just like, oh, the dumb old man who went back for the hat, comedy gold. And then the lady, then the next scene was like, Benny, I dropped my hat. Oh, so good. I kind of hope that Graham becomes like so attached to Ryan that it's mentally ill how much he has to worry about him. Doctor Who's kind of done that before, but hey, there'd be a challenge actor-wise, there'd be something to follow. Benny! Oh, I love it. The one line that lady could say was Benny. I blinked out when I forgot a word. I'll just wake up and I'll hear Benny! So good. Oh, the rock in the road? Yeah, that. The rock in the road. They're like, it's a trap, we got trapped. What do you mean? They put a rock in the road. You're on an open plane, drive around it. Jesus Christ. Come up with something better. Have the aliens attack the van. Have anything. Oh yeah, there was a conversation that was written to be like purposefully awkward. And yeah, it worked pretty well, but the show... The problem is, you can't differentiate that with any other writer in the show, because that's how the rest of the show feels, whether it's purposeful or not. Wow, that twist though. That is how I want an episode of Doctor Who to go down. Play with my pre-existing assumptions. Like, I assume this entire season's gonna be terrible. And it's still yet to prove that wrong. Like, this episode clearly had some thought put into it. The general concept and conflict of the episode was well thought out to actually have something happen that doesn't just feel like gobbledygook to my brain. Like, I was able to follow a general idea of what was happening, what was going on. There were some well-made twists. I'll give this episode credit. There were no Graham laser tap dancing scenes in it. There were no scenes. In fact, the closest we got to it was Trixabel, which, I mean, that's just, I lost it. There's already a cat lady in it. Let's give her daughter a cat's name. I feel bad to almost call this a good episode of TV because it's not. It's nothing compared to some of the good episodes from Moffat seasons. 5.5 angry trees out of 10. Fucking got him. I thought maybe when it started it was like a historical dramatization of Tesla. We kept going on for like 5 minutes, and then I was like, oh look, here she is. Oh, and they're still here. Great. Good-o. I guess the Sonic competently works on wood now. I mean, I feel like that's been debunked for a while, but I guess it can just drop trapdoors off the hinges. That's regular Doctor Who. I guess that's a bit nitpicky. Oh yeah, I was sitting there, I was like, oh my god, if Edison turns out to be the bad guy, big excite. And hey, kinda delivered on that. You know, nice amount of like historical science. They're
named after him, he's a famous inventor, isn't he, Doc?
And what did he invent?
Well, he invented the whatchamacallit? Tell him, Doc.
Graham, you're so damn stupid. Still has the issue of Doctor Who being so on its nose about its message. It never gets over it, but I guess I should probably stop complaining about that. I think that's just a constant issue now. Some good old-fashioned American capitalism. Hell yeah. Yaz is so, like, matter-of-factly about the knowledge she has. Even though she's... What? She's from the future! STFU. Ah, yes. The classic Ring of Fire trick. Always stops the monster. Damn, that song was pretty cool, but Terminator Scorpions? Question mark? Listen, Edison is very litigious, so I don't know why they're even gonna let him anywhere near any future tech. That feels like a mistake.
You're in here strictly on the QT, right? So get those dollar signs out of your eyes, because this little lot ain't for sale. Copyright,
Yeah, fucking get 'em, Graham. Ah, the classic evil conundrum. Thank God the Doctor always is able to find another way, because we've never seen this played out on Doctor Who before, other than every other episode.
Oi, AC/DC.
There goes another piece of my soul. Thanks, Laser Tap Dancer. That in that montage was nice, I guess. It had some personality to it. Listen, I was joking with the Terminator Scorpions. They weren't meant to all come down and attack.
They're a hive species. So if we take out the queen, take out all of them, yes.
Ah, the classic kill one of them, kill them all trick to rat yourself out of a corner. Brilliant.
Let's see what this thing can do. Stay out of our lab.
Of course Graham needs Death Ray. Of freaking course.
Yeah, about average.
Thanks, Ryan. That's a good way of describing this episode. 4.5 Terminator Scorpions out of 10. Thank you. That's about Doctor Who colours, right? Let's see. Doctor Who Episode 5, Fugitive of the Jadoon. This week's Doctor Who, a day in the life soap opera cold open. Yay. Oh my god, the zoom transition! I'm starting to love the opening of Doctor Who, and then the eventual pan to the Three Stooges.
Doing it again.
Ah!
I thought you said they were the police.
Trigger happy police.
Ah, so just the police, am I right? He killed that lady's knitting!
You missed me, right?
Oh, I had such a smile on my face during the Captain Jack moments. I guess it's kind of nostalgia bait, but it brought a happiness to my life I didn't expect from Doctor Who. You see how the episode got rid of the three companions and then it actually became, you know, good, bearable TV? Ooh, a new Doctor. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe a different dimension. I don't know. Although from what I've read, the show creators said it's not from a different dimension. She's not from a different dimension, and she is playing the actual Doctor. So maybe a different timeline, or a clone. I hope they don't make her just another secret Doctor, because we've got enough of those, and I kind of hope she isn't the next regeneration of the Doctor. Well, I guess it wouldn't be too bad, but a weird way to introduce that, is what I would say. Wow. How excited. I'm actually kind of invested in this episode, and excited to see what happens. Didn't expect that.
I'm sure there's a simple explanation.
God, I hope, Graham. God, I hope.
You don't know me. Not even a little bit.
The sass! This is how I want these companions treated. How they deserve to be treated. Their true status of garbage.
And whatever is coming for you, we'll be here.
God, I hope not, Yaz. God. Please. And that's about all the notes that I got for this episode. So basically it's looking like the less notes I have, the better the Doctor Who episode, the less to complain about. Good episode of Doctor Who, like an actually good episode. Even if stuff wasn't explained as much as I'd like, it was good. So I guess I'm going to be giving this 6 nanoparticles out of 10. Maybe a little bit higher? No, I'm not willing to go there. Doctor Who, Episode 6, Praxis.
Planet Earth.
This week's cold
Early in
open,
the
Earth documentary. Oh no, not the trash.
Is this a joke?
Yes, you just got pranked. Oh my god, does Adam have coronavirus?
Perhaps you'd like to tell us why you're so interested in that door.
Listen, it's a very nice door.
Man's gone missing and nobody's doing anything to find it.
Apart from you. The police.
Ah, good one, Graham.
Jamila.
Listen. It might be too soon, but the views you're gonna get on your next travel vlog. I mean, oh my god, the low budget sound effect, and then the Doctor just appears from around the corner to save having to transport the Tardis set to there.
Focus too much on that cat.
God, if a talking cat is behind all of this. Oh, I'm getting crazy frog flashbacks at this point.
As it once delighted Grace.
Some sort of alien colony.
Some kind of alien plastic pollution planet. This week on Doctor Who, where we have a time machine that can literally travel anywhere in space and time. We spend another episode on Earth with the massive alien threat. Birds. This episode wasn't terrible. I guess when you have so many companions and you decide to split them up to cover more ground, that's an effective use of that problem. I mean, it's like, it's just a distraction from the actual problem, but distracted me for a good 30 minutes. I guess I'll be giving this episode 5 microplastics out of 10.
Doctor in virtual reality. Crash land in the TARDIS and your adventure begins.
Wow, hey guys, it's me, playing poor man's version of VR, a 360 YouTube video. Oh, wow. Yep, do I have cancer? Oh, hell yeah.
No, not that one either.
Wow, it's Orby.
It's like capturing the electricity inside a person without the person, or the electricity.
Wow, so it's nothing like that. That's the joke, guys. Do you get it? Look, Patrick, ruining the fun for everyone. Can I go that way? Guys, I want to go that way. Come on, that way, guys.
Special positron undercover death squad. Spuds.
A positron on an undercover death squad?
Threaten. It's okay. I won't let them hurt you. I promise.
Not me. Give me attention. I want attention. Yeah, Volty. Sorry, Volty, but you're not making it. Volty's got the drugs. He's got it. He's the smuggler. He's smuggling the drugs. Yeah, damn right. You take Volty away. So much happening. This is just hurting my brain. Oh my god, can anyone else make some dumb sounds? Jesus fucking Christ.
One more trip?
Yeah, one more trip. Let's do it again. Well, that was boring and ultimately a waste of my time. Oh, so I can blame the French tax rebate for this. Okay, well I'm convinced. I better get a VR headset now. Doctor Who Season 12, Episode 7. Can you hear me?
I can feel them.
Coming in the air tonight. Alert.
You sure you're gonna be alright on your own?
Oh, Graham, if only I had a big, strong man with me.
I could always.
Yes! We're ditching the companions for an episode! And I was so totally wrong. We weren't. I was so excited when it happened. And really quickly, we're not ditched.
Help me, Graham.
Graham, you're my only hope.
Please fly.
The finger thief! No! Right, so we've got a machine that runs on nightmares. That is a good description of most Mondays for me at the moment. That was really stupid. That's our Graham Laser tap dancing moment of the week, folks!
Guns down, I'm on the
Tap
floor.
dance away!
Don't make me.
Now their arcs are all complete. They're all ready to die now. They're lamb, ready to be slaughtered. So just do it. Just do it. Come on.
Hanging out with the Doctor. It's just our lives. Going from one place to the next.
Yes!
Going home.
Yes! Yes! I've never been so excited for companions to have doubts. Have more of those doubts. I mean, I definitely have to spend the rest of the season with yous. But if I don't have to spend any more seasons with yous, I'll consider that a win. Please! So it looks like, once again, splitting the companions up to cover more ground seems to be the way to go. Made the episode way more bearable to begin with. Wow. Also, so I was really duped with the, I thought this was going to just be another Earth episode, and then we're like, boom, deep space. I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, more of this please, more of this. The episode had like pretty good pacing. It was a nice slow burn to begin with, and then when our characters finally met up, starting a bit faster paced, generally entertaining. Some fun animation in there. How they solved the conflict was extremely average, and with the bigger picture, I find this quite a boring episode of Doctor Who. I kind of felt like it just needed more setups and payoffs towards general plot, rather than like all their sort of character going-ons. If it's a thumbs up, thumbs down situation, then I guess it's gonna be a thumbs up. I wasn't cringing. Like, I was watching the episode and I wasn't visibly cringing, so they had to be doing something right. I'll be giving this one a 5.6 Nightmare Fingers out of 10. Yay. Doctor Who, Season 12, Episode 8, The Haunting of Villa Diodati. Rah!
That one's driver will pull up one's carriage imprudently.
For thou shut up-us, Graham. Right, so I guess we didn't get enough of the hand spooks from last week. So we're gonna just continue the little... Listen, if I know Scooby-Doo logic, and I know Scooby-Doo logic, Graham's either gonna be the first victim, or he's behind everything. Fingers crossed.
Did you see that?
What?
You had one job.
Me when talking about Chris Chibnall taking over Doctor Who as showrunner. Ooh, well now you have my attention. I wish we could stop cutting between the companions and the Cybermen and just stick to the Doctor Cybermen. Like, they're clearly meant to happen after each other, so I don't know why we have to fuck off to the companions for like 20 seconds before I can get entertainment.
You want to sacrifice yourself for this? You want me to sacrifice you? You want to call it? Do it now.
Sacrifice! Sacrifice! Dude, he's like Thanos from Marvels. Graham can't handle it. It's like the one thing he's been told to do all season has just been broken, and now his brain just doesn't compute anymore. Yeah, the first 30 minutes were pretty boring, but as soon as the Cyberman showed up, I was far more invested. But even with that, this episode still feels mostly unnecessary. It's all build-up, and it's not good, it's boring. Like, nothing in this episode needed to happen for the next episode to be relevant. Why couldn't have we just started in the Cyber Wars and then worked away from there? Instead of having a full episode of just garbage, basically. When I think back to penultimate Doctor Who episodes, you have episodes like Face the Raven or Utopia, and those two episodes in of themselves are decent episodes. The story in them is entertaining enough and the characters are entertaining enough to pull me through to what would then be the finales. And the mystery which set up the finales was also worth all that build up. This was just boring. The characters are boring, the story is boring, the rhyme was boring. The only entertainment I got from watching it was waiting to see what would happen with the Cybermen, and then when it eventually happened, I was still bored out of my mind. Because they just left. It just ended like a regular Doctor Who episode. They're like, oh, guess it's time for the next adventure. How are we going to solve that? All in all, I think this episode is going to be a thumbs down. Let's see. I'm going to be giving this episode 4.7 Graham Scene Ghosts out of 10. Goodbye. Well, here we are. It's official. We've caught back up to present time. Doctor Who still outlook probably not good, but also not horrifically terrible. And it seems that much of what will make or break this show to make it into that real, like, just average rating, or even just slightly below average, which I would consider a win. Slightly below average is a win compared to last season. It seems what's going to make or break the show is these final 2 episodes, especially with all the spinning plates. And in this binary Cyberman universe of good or bad, I don't expect them to be able to redeem the season. The season has had too many stinkers, or just below what would be considered, watchable episodes, to be able to pull it into good. However, after the Chibnall special, which was Spyfall Part 1 and Part 2, as long as they're not that, and so we head into the future, past the point of no return, with semi-high hopes that perhaps 1 or 2, or maybe all 3 companions could get there, And oh, what's this? Oh, it's my magic sonic screwdriver. And let's see, what power does it have today? Oh, I call this the power of editing. Doctor Who, Episode 8, Ascension of the Cyberman. Oh, fuck, that was awesome. No. Take me back to space, please, take me back. This week on Coronation Street, the Jackson family has a surprise show up on their doorstep.
We'll look after him until you find the parents.
Ah yes, the faraway mystic land of Ireland. Oh, that was... God, I cannot wait for these people to be cyber-slaughtered.
Damaged in planetfall. I've been trying to fix it, but we've got no spare parts. I've botched built a couple...
Finish your last story.
Fuck off, Graham. That's not yours to say. Don't say that line, you piece of shit.
Make sure you're with them.
What about you?
I'll hold them off.
How are you going to do that?
This isn't a discussion. We're not just going to leave you. Yes, you are.
Oh, the return of the sass. Come on, keep it coming, keep it coming. Yes! Get the weaklings!
So who was right all along and is now the real winner?
Pretty sure no one's the winner in this time of Doctor Who.
What I'd give for a friendly voice right now. Go on, please.
Look at this wizard of a man.
This was a troop carrier. Bringing soldiers to the front.
We're in the middle of staying in it.
Is it really that surprising though? Like, you entered a cyber war cruiser. What did you expect? Cyber livestock? Some cyber cows over there, cyber rabbits.
We cannot take Cybermen to the boundary.
What are our other options?
Fly it into the sun? This episode, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't cringe, it didn't have any Graham laser tap dancing moments. And comparatively to the start of the season, it's a large improvement. But it's a large improvement from what is terrible to what is maybe just average. I can't help but shake this feeling that it was just too slow in parts with way too much build-up. Like, when I think back to what actually happened in this episode, not that much happened. What, they travelled to the edge of the galaxy, met up with a group, lost the Tardis. That's about it. Nothing really propelled the story forward. The next 50 minutes of Doctor Who isn't going to be able to fix or conclude all of the issues that we have going so far. And precedent would state that there's no way Chibnall's going to be able to pull off this final episode. Spyfall was terrible. I guess comparing this to previous episode 1s of Doctor Who finales, this is crap. I think back to 2 seasons ago when we had another Cyberman Master set up, and that episode 1 was great. It was a high concept with the spaceship that was so long that time went at different directions. And that was a slow build-up character study that had great payoff and gave the episode a lot of momentum going into the finale that I feel that this episode just couldn't match. Or Pat favourite Heaven Sent, which was just a masterpiece. You have too many characters and all you can do is split them up with other people and all they ever do is really talk. Their actions, they never have any actions that mean anything. It's just too boring. And this further presses this issue because I just don't care. I don't care about most of these people because you're not making me care. To be fair, I care if they survive. I really care if they survive. I guess this doesn't really inspire much hope in me either, because classically, in Doctor Who finales, the part 1 premise is usually the better episode of the two, that being the part 2 conclusion weaker. So, there's a lot riding on next episode. I guess this will be thumbs up. And I'm gonna give this 5.2 Cyber Drone heads out of 10. See you next week for what is, I'm sure, is gonna be an explosive finale. Doctor Who, Episode 10, the finale of Season 12, The Timeless Children. Well, here we go. It all comes down to this. Ooh, cyber murdered. Hopefully the first of many casualties to come in the following hour.
Got an idea. It's a bit of a mad one, quite dangerous, and it might not work.
But if my name isn't Graham...
If we don't get out of this, I want you to know, right? I think you're such an impressive young woman.
Yes, you know what this means. TV tropes number 5. Where as soon as the characters start to complement each other and their arcs begin to end, you know what the... Death!
I'm not gonna help them, and neither are you.
I really like the delivery of this line. I wish I could stop being cyber-cucked by this Cyberman Companions plotline. Just take me back to the Doctor and Master stuff, come on! Listen, I really dig this lore sequence.
Was the first of
presented in such a, I guess, creative way. Wouldn't it just be awesome if Ryan accidentally shot Graham and killed him while he was dressed as a Cyberman? Would that not be the best?
Oh, I did it! In the hoop! Swish!
That is very close to a Laser Graham tap dancing scene, so I'm gonna say that's very close. Look at the little eye thing he does! Oh my goodness, he's so good!
Frey evolved. Shobogans grew in knowledge and ability. They built themselves a citadel. They discovered the ability
I
to
really
travel
like
through
this
time
sequence. Such a missed opportunity. I wanted the Shakespearean tragedy!
Oh, shoot! I should have said, somebody needs to cut you down to size. Then's up to you. I'm just trigger happy.
Okay, this master is great. The delivery of his lines is just awesome. Finally, some drama! Yes!
Any explosives left?
One. Emergencies only.
Timer?
And detonation only.
So come on, Doc, what are you thinking?
Okay, Graham, we're gonna strap this to your chest and you get as many as you can. Go on.
First.
No! Not a crappy side character sacrifice. Graham, this was your moment and he stole it!
Security facility.
At worst, I guess this cliffhanger signals that the companions won't be joining us for the New Year's special. However, don't crush my dreams, Doctor Who. Every other time I've asserted that statement, I've been completely wrong, so here's to another time. You know, I think this might be my favourite Chibnall era Doctor Who episode. Once again, I'm gonna highlight that the companions were mostly in the background of anything actually important. I would really like this episode if it had some companion sacrifices or a clever conclusion to its conflict. I guess I should probably talk about the twist. It's a very Moffat era thing, like, this is the Doctor and he is the most important thing that exists in the universe. Which I'm generally not a fan of, those storylines, but having some time to process the twist, I think it adds more to Doctor Who than it takes. I'm okay with it being written in stone that Doctor Who can go on forever. Much like Trump forever, we'll now have Doctor Who forever. I messed it up. And finding out some of the deep classic Who lore that it ties together, I think only adds legitimacy to the twist. I will say that I think it damages the established story of the rebooted 2005 New Who, which I guess I'm kind of more invested in. I don't really think it changes that much. Like, when have the Time Lords ever not been dicks, or I guess rather used consistently in Doctor Who? I am also not really interested in the overall plotlines of Doctor Who. Like, the main story is already so diluted thanks to Moffat, that I find that what stands out to me is the individual stories. Basically, during this episode, I wasn't bored. I may even go as far to say that I was excited, which is far more than any other Chibnall era episode. That, plus the Master, really elevate this episode. I'm going to be giving this one a 6.7 death particles out of 10. In 2017, when showrunner Stephen Moffat stepped down, so did many of the show's accomplished staff, including Murray Gold, who had been with the show since 2005. His music skill was exceptional and extremely creative, with many themes he wrote becoming iconic. Now when I think back to season 12, there's nothing that I would call iconic. In fact, the stuff that sticks out is the more out there songs, but that doesn't necessarily make them good. I mean, look at this track they used for an Irish backstory. It is the most temp stereotypical music you could find. Even like the composed orchestra music, which apparently they used for Spyfall. Cross my heart, Lord, please forgive thy for mentioning its name. This isn't new. Like, it's not this, or this, or that. It's just painfully average. I've spoken enough about how shit the companions are. Do I really need to spend more time? Okay, let's reel it back, ignoring the companions, to which my favourite one I like ironically because it seems like the most effort has been put into his cringe lines, Graham. The side characters in Doctor Who usually are not that good because you have them for about 40 minutes and then they're gone. However, we do occasionally have good side characters. Like, I didn't dislike the Puddle for season 10, and you have some really good side characters like the French lady from Girl in the Fireplace, Wilfred. The show did an excellent job with Van Gogh, to name a few of the non-companions. And yet, this season we have, what, Tesla and Edison, which, pfft. The wizard man who sacrifices himself, to which I know no more about than the two words I just described him with, wizard and sacrifice. Now, I can't believe these words are about to leave my mouth, but the wokeness did not ruin Doctor Who.
When Doctor Who started to adopt feminist and woke political themes into the storylines, I was done with the show. After that, the wokeness went into overdrive and the quality of the storylines suffered also.
Firstly, when has Doctor Who not been woke in some fashion? It's always been an underdog versus the establishment, anti-conflict, pro-life. I can't even say pro-life without sounding like an anti-abortion arsehole. Pro not killing things and saving people. And yeah, it's had an issue with women characters, from the inevitable 60s politics to just plain not being able to write them, Stephen Moffat. Secondly, if by woke you mean liberal progressive, then you're kind of wrong there too, and I know what I'm saying here only really applies to a small group of dumb people who think that making the Doctor a woman and the general don't be a dick, let's save the planet messages of episodes are what are ruining the show. But also, crazy idea I know, but true progressiveness is not just what you show on the screen, it's behind it also. So maybe I just didn't look hard enough, and I know that it's about 30% harder to find women, which is definitely just a random number I picked out that is definitely not relevant to anything wage gap, but there seemed like a definite majority of male writers and directors, which, well, if you're going to have a female lead and generally more female characters, perhaps the writing of these characters wouldn't come off as so wooden and average if, I don't know, you had females writing these characters. But hey, maybe I'm just taking the crazy pills. One final observation on this topic, though, because I hope I've at least demonstrated that Graham is the most lively of the bunch. He gets the best lines, which isn't a high bar, which usually means I'm cringing along with the occasional laugh. But perhaps this is because writing an old goofy white man is not out of Chris Chibnall's writing ability. So it's a little concerning when your main character is female and the other two companions are young people of colour. Right, now I've targeted and responded to the very small, largely vocal group of people who hate the show for political messages. Now I'm going to methodically respond to the also pretty small group whose main issue is messing with canon. Putting way too much work into defending a season of TV I didn't even like. Or rather, let's not. Okay, but I do think there's something interesting to say here. Mainly that I think the twist is bad. Yep, I'm gonna reel back in my comments, but my ability to care about canon is diminished by the fact that the canon was already all over the place. By no means do I think it's the worst twist and thing to happen to Doctor Who, and it certainly is clever in a very, look at me, I'm Stephen Moffat the clever kind of way, Chibnall. However, it does damage the character. Not only does it throw out older character arcs, but also the main question is like...
The first question, the question that must never be answered, hidden in plain sight, the question you've been running from all your life.
Why? Why did you do this, Chibnall? I don't understand. As much as I like the Doctor just being a lonely alien who wants to just do the right thing, it has mostly been an unsaid rule of the show that he is really important and often is the key to the universe, which, hang on, I guess that does just get stated a ton throughout Moffat's run.
But he is the Doctor. He has walked this universe for centuries untold. He has seen stars fall to dust.
It's worrying that he can make decisions as big as this, which, okay, I don't mind him changing the law that much, but he can't even write like a basic interesting character arc, because why implement this twist when the audience already mostly understands that the Doctor is kind of important, and yeah, it ties together a bunch of loose threads while creating a bunch more. But Mr. Chibnall, where can you go from here with this twist where the show hasn't already gone? Basically, good sir, what could have you done that you could not have done without the twist? I do not see it. End of email. Basically, if you want to be clever and smart with your show and the plot, it's kind of important for the show to have a heart first. Or maybe even two. This season isn't as bad as the previous, and I feel it could be far worse. The fact that I got so much ground out of talking about its failings, and even mildly defending parts of it I liked, is enough to make this stand above the previous season. Overall, assuming I did the math thing right, it's a 4.7 out of 10, which means by the skin of its teeth, it's a thumbs down. Basically, just average bad. However, I'm calling this a win. Last season, there was one episode I thumbs up, that being Demons of the Punjab. However, this season, there's like 5 episodes that make it into a thumbs up. That means, in an extremely oversimplification, this season is 5 times better than the previous. Honestly, this season could have made it into the thumbs up average score territory if it wasn't for the flame wreck that was Spyfall. And so, ultimately, Graham laser tap dancing is what let the entire season down. So thanks, Graham. You beautiful bastard. The show is full of good and bad, happiness and loss, but most importantly, change. It's built into how the show operates, and is a testament to what the show has built and how resilient it is. Because right now, it's had a large drop in quality, but if this season proves anything, it's that it will improve, even if it's only baby steps. So just like Capaldi chipping through the diamond wall, we'll make it.
The long way round.
Because the show has changed, and is worse for it, but that's okay. See you next year. Winston, is that you? There you go. You know you're in the show?
We stand at a crossroads, Doctor. Quite alone.
Of course.
Yeah, there was some multicolored Daleks and some other crap.
Glory to the Ironsides.
Yeah, they were bad in the end. Turns out you were blinded by your thirst for victory because of all that Hitler business.
Oh, do you reckon the next Doctor will be Will Smith?
No, he's not even British and he's crap.
What did you say?
You heard me. Will Smith is crap. He's mean. He's been in no good films for like the last decade.
Bad Boys for Life, bitch.
Yep, that wasn't good. You're only kidding yourself.
Oh wow, you are so high and mighty shitting on my British icons. Go on, what are you going to shit on next?
Who knows?